This video is going to be all about independent voters. As you know, we have a huge election coming up in November. It is going to be epic. Probably more turnout on a midterm election than any other election in history. So, where do you stand? Are you Democratic? Are you Republican? Are you somewhere in between, aka an independent? I think in general it's more than clear where you stand on the Democratic Republican spectrum. You're probably on either one side or the other. And that's not to say if you're Republican that you can't still have a little bit of liberal mindset somewhere in your mix. Same with Democrat. You could probably be a little bit conservative and still be a Democrat. However, it's these independents that are the enigma of the political system. So this is all going to be geared toward these pesky little independents who can never seem to make up their mind. Ask anyone, ask any independent, who are you voting for? Which way you're leaning? You know what they're going to say? 8 out of 10 times. I don't know, I'm still undecided. Now that might be great, when you have months to go or weeks to go, but we're talking about right up to the voting day. No doubt. 2016, I've seen a lot of that, and I'm already seeing it now, here in 2018. You know what? Here's the deal. I'm going to be flat out honest. For my entire adult voting life, I was declared an independent. I always thought, well, I can really go either way. I really want to cast my vote based on the person running at the time. However, I think it was back in 2015, my voter packet arrived, getting me ready for the 2016 election. Now keep in mind, this was well before any party had nominated Clinton or Trump. And I looked at that packet and I thought, you know what? Clearly it said independent. So they send you these packets to see if you want to make a change or if it update. That's basically all they are. Update your information, your voter status, let you know where your voting polls are and all this good stuff. And I probably spent a good 10 to 15 minutes kind of reflecting. And I thought to myself, am I truly an independent? Or am I just claiming independent voter to feel a little more self-important or a little more unique as a voter? And I asked that because I could not remember the last time I voted Republican, local or national. And it kind of hit me right then and there that I can no longer say I'm a independent voter. Not when my track record and my trend shows Democratic, Democratic, Democratic. And I knew well ahead of time, when the time came, who I was hoping for, who I was going to vote for if it came to that. I was going to toe the party lines, so to speak. Without hesitation, I knew I would not be voting Republican. And that's my choice. We all have our choices, and that's not the issue, whether you be Democrat or Republican. The issue today is just make a decision. Be honest with yourself, be truthful to yourself, because I feel you're doing a major disservice when you sit there and claim independent, but you probably have a track record, one or the other. I equate it to a gay man. Okay, we'll take a gay man who claims to be bisexual. Maybe he's got the nerve up and was with a gal once or twice. But his track record, time after time after time, you see this bisexual with only men. A pattern becomes very evident there. And I think you will eventually hit a time where you have to be honest. Wait a minute. I am no more independent than I am bisexual. I have a clear preference. So, it's not about, let's talk about the polls. It's not about just predicting the future like a game with a crystal ball, surprise, or there are limited resources on your Democratic Party, on your Republican Party. You have limited resources. So these polls really act as a source to find out where we're going to allocate our resources. People on the ground, money, ads, to get the information out, to get the vote out. So if you're sitting there as an independent, refusing to take honest part in a poll because you're always undecided, you just don't know yet, because you're that special, what are you going to do? Walk in there and flip a coin? Heads or tails? Because you don't know. And I don't understand how that can be, because there's so much information at your fingertips. Whether you pull it from the fake news, the genuine news, or any other place online, there is so much information available for you to make a decision well in advance. You should know exactly where you're going well in advance. It's like leaving your house on a vacation. You don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going to stay. I'm still undecided. I say stay home. If this is true, if you are truly this indecisive and are not informed to be able to pick a side, stay home. Stay home, because you're probably going to wind up voting for the wrong person or something else. So, and then you're going to be griping, when your opponent, the opposing team, pulls through, then you're, well, you should have known ahead of time. Therefore, you can talk to your friends, you can talk to your families. If you're very strong in your political views and you find some friends that are kind of just in the dark, they don't really pay attention to it, they don't know Tuesday from Sunday, well, how are you going to be able to sit there and have a conversation with someone, a genuine political conversation, when you don't even know where you stand? So, there we are. There's how I feel today about independent voters. I think it's high time you sit down, have an honest reflection session with yourself, and find out where you stand so that you can get in line. Okay? Let go of the self-importance, let go of the mystery, because at the end of the day, it's better to be part of something than part of nothing. And let's face it, independent voters, for the most part, are part of nothing. They stand for the breeze, whatever, and I was guilty of it. Whatever comes my way. But ultimately, without me even realizing it, I did choose a side. I just didn't admit to it. And I think that's a lot of what's happening these days. People aren't being honest with themselves. They're not being honest with their family members, coworkers, or friends. So, if you're undecided, get with the program. Till next time, loves, hugs, kisses. Bye-bye. And by the way, just so you know, these glasses make me smarter.